And in most cases, these criminals find their way or they stay in our communities. You know, as a community member, and you see, you visit a family or a friend and they are providing you a chair that looks like a school chair, you must report. You know, because these criminals who are vandalizing our schools, they are taking these things somewhere. And we're appealing to our community members that please, please, work with us, work with the law enforcement. Our schools are buckled. Schools are not banks, they don't have money. And that I should amplify. You know, so communities work with us to really stop this this behavior by some criminal elements, and there are very few of them we know, you know, and they live in our community. So, if you know they're coming to our school to burgle our schools, to steal school resources, report them to police. If you are scared, tell the principal, tell somebody, SGB. In the school, you know, sensitize us, become a whistleblower to end this thing. Because we can't be continually going back every year dealing with unnecessary expense. Provisioning water, there are certain areas where there's a water problem. Amongst them is in the Hammanskraal area. I'm sure most of you are aware. So we are providing water tankers to provide water in those areas. And here we're also appealing to communities as well to help us. We know that there's an issue of business forums. It is a big issue. So we are appealing to our communities to work with, to allow, you know, those that have been given an opportunity to go and deliver this water for our children, to allow them to do so, you know, uninterrupted. So that is also another appeal that we have fundamental any disruption. So in terms of the self-built, I've spoken about 878 classrooms, I've spoken about 297 schools, and mostly of these schools are in those high pressure areas. That's where this Ulin Kharankua is one of 4 that we're targeting in this year, academic year. We have Bramfisher that is almost concluded, and then we'll have another 2 more in the Tshwane region area. So we'll be rolling on a back to school campaign. And there are 2 things that we'll be focusing on: communities, NGOs, civic organizations also do embark on a back-to-school campaigns. So the first thing that we would appeal from you, do not disrupt learning and teaching. Us to support our learners, support our educators. We don't have us as a progressive citizens. We are happy. Education is big, and it requires all of us to have all our hands on deck. So we don't have a problem with that, as long as we don't disrupt. With the premier, we will be in Mapenane tomorrow. 2 things will be the focus: making education an IPEX priority. Secondly, learning and teaching to start on time. Kids in class, children having a desk, child having a chair, having the necessary learning and teaching starting on time. Those are the 2 fundamentals that we will be elevating. So I will not labor much on the school furniture. We have an LTSM provisioning. Those areas we are ready. Obviously, with regard to furniture, because of the ongoing capacity in our workshop, in our warehouse, as soon as we finalize the placement, that the necessary resources will be provided to those schools. So we do have enough stock in place to ensure that we are able to provide. That also goes for LTSM as well. So in terms of vacancies, I will not touch it. But that is our key priority. All vacancies will be filled. Because this is also an opportunity for employment, so we'll ensure that we close off that space quickly. So yeah, coming to the placement, contentious matter of late, because we know that there are parents that their children have not been placed. We are aware. Education is a right. It's a constitutional right. And we have an obligation to ensure that we fulfill that. So to those parents that are yet to will be in school, we are working around the clock, to ensure that we are placing their kids. We are placing those children. Those children are our children as well. So that one is, I wanted to affirm and amplify that we are working around the clock. We are engaging our schools, elements, that are disrupting of late. Some have gone to certain districts to disrupt. We will be requesting more support from the law enforcement agents to assist us. It's pointless to come and say you are coming to fight for the rights of parents and learners. Come to the district to disrupt. Why do you disrupt for 2-3 hours? You are disrupting an opportunity of work time that could have been utilized to ensure that those learners are placed. So we're appealing to those civic organizations. Allow us to do our work. Don't go and disrupt because you want media attention. The education. So those civic organizations, please allow us to do our work. Don't disrupt. We know that some of them, even now, some political parties have entered the space. Some political parties have gone now, they've disrupted a school, and schools are throughout the province saying they are here to defend parents' rights. What do you mean parents' rights? Going to enter this school until a certain parent, you are actually violating the very same principle that you are claiming to fight for. So those political parties, let's work, but don't disrupt, don't stop. Groupings have come forward. Parents, do not fight. You should not fight. It's our responsibility to ensure that your children are in school, and we will ensure that we ensure that we will do that. They must not have fear in any way. We are not fearful as a department. We are not scared of anybody. We will ensure that we put kids in school. There are areas where this has tended to become racial. It can't be in 2023 we're dealing with racism. It cannot be. One of the things that worries me is that why there is no need to hire, or to put the school at a center of sowing divisions in our community. Schools are a centers of development. That's what schools are. And that's what they should be. We cannot find ourselves having a school community divided based on a school. Racism that we are fighting and defeating and condemning and we despise. We are sowing it in our own children. So literally we are reversing the very same gains that we have made as a country. And unfortunately that is led by parents. And some obviously those who are in the leadership of certain schools. Racism will not be tolerated in any way. That won't happen anymore. So, just to update, we are continuing to place our learners. When we started, these are the parents who were able to provide all the necessary documentation and also met the deadline. They applied on time, and we also had incomplete applications. Those were parents who failed to provide necessary documentation, but they also applied. So, but with those 90,000 in total, so we are left to 290,751. So we are left with 1,394 learners to be placed as of this morning. So that's 0.5% that is left. And I'll explain why we still have this. There are pressure areas, and that's where this number comes from. Ekurhuleni North, namely the Oliphant and Kempton Park area, where we are this morning. This is a very, very high pressure area. So in Oliphant, we have in place engaged a church where they have given us space to ensure that and also there's an additional 3 mobile units that will be provided to increase school capacities so that we can place all the learners. In grade 8, Kempton Park area remains a high pressure area, was still left with 501 unplaced learners. We are continuing to speak to our schools, such as Principal Mare. Morris, yes, Principal Morris. We need to work together to ensure that we close off this thing. We need to work together so that we close off in this thing. So maximum capacity. But we are left with a situation where some of our schools will be overcrowded, not being in school. So we have to make a choice there. And we are making a choice that every child must be in a school. We will deal with everything else when a child is wearing a uniform in school. That is a priority that we'll be doing. We have taken that choice, and we are determined to ensure that we deliver on that. So we are feeling that let's open up. Let's open up. Let's let's come up with plans. Let's share ideas. Let's find ways together to ensure that we get these children off the street, especially children of school-going age, into a classroom. We are playing with the future area with those 501 grade 8 applicants, and so with this one, we've also requested schools to open up specialist rooms to ensure that we accommodate learners. And really, we need to applaud our schools that as much as they are waiting for mobiles and others, they have agreed to take in our learners to come in. We're not living in ordinary times. We do have a huge infrastructure backlog. We do have a huge infrastructure backlog, and that's something that we are working on. But in where we are now, we are required to find innovative ways to ensure that we have all our children of school-going age in schools and getting the necessary educators. Support will be there, and that's what's going to happen. So let's open up, let's find creative ways to ensure that we get these 501 grade 8s placed together. But to those parents in the area that have applied, and of this 501, again, we know that patience is not endless, but allow us, work with us, be patient with us. It's a very delicate process. But just know that we are aggressive in ensuring that we really get these ones, these learners in classrooms. The Joburg West district, I know I received a call from some of the media houses that there are confrontation not only in the districts but also in some of the schools, altercation between parents, and I don't know how that helps, because I will be going there to that school, to that area, to check what's really happening and really to calm down the situation. Joburg West district, we are sitting with 434 as well, grade 8 applicants. So we do have a plan, 10 classrooms. They are not in use, so we were cleaning them up and renovating them. So in the meantime, those learners will be, as we place them, they will be in those schools while we are still fixing these 10 classrooms. So incomplete applications and late applications, what we have, 30,000 plus or so incomplete applications. We managed to place majority of them, and you would be wondering how are we able to place them and not place this complete application. It's because of the areas that left. They are in high pressure areas where there's no more spaces. So we were able to place majority of them. And currently the late applications that we opened up on the 20th of December, which will be closing on the 31st, was sitting at 8,375. Amongst those is to choose a school. To choose a school of your choice. When you come, we place your child where there's a space. That's how we're going to be dealing with them. And mostly, these are parents maybe who have missed the deadline, but they're within their province, and also in migration, because we don't want any child to be out of school, but we will not place your child at your school of choice. So you will not be choosing. We'll be telling you, this is where we have space for your child to come in. This is where we have space for your child to come in. So parents need to be aware of that. So in terms of interventions, we have procured 419 mobiles, which we are currently rolling out. They are disrupting in certain areas when we are rolling out this particular program. And in most cases, we know they're working with the leadership of the community, in some instances even councillors. And to those councillors, we will not tolerate those disruptions, especially if we pick up that we are part of that problem. Councillors need to help work with us. They need to assist us to ensure that we are able to roll out this thing seamlessly, serve with classrooms, especially in high pressure areas, and also the issue of land. As you know, Gauteng is running short of space of land. Avail. Come forward, but don't come with unreasonable prices. Come forward as a good citizen to say, I have this land, and I believe that this, our community needs it. Come, let's talk about it. What needs to happen? It's available. But don't come and think it's a quick money. This is a social matter. So when you come forward, come forward with an understanding that you are going to contribute to the lives of our own community or your own community, to avail land, so that we can start building more schools. Respond to all of them. What parents need to understand is that every appeal is given, we are applying our minds to it. We are hearing parents. We are not we don't have an automatic system where it's as if a computer is responding. No. We hear your appeal, we hear what you are writing, and on this issue. We are not courts. You know, courts are supposed, as you enter a courtroom, you can feel it, it's cold. You know, so when you enter a school, it needs to be warm. This is where the department is. So every appeal we receive, we really apply our minds, we really think about it, we really look at all factors in play. So we're working full time. It is a very busy period in the department, and as I conclude, I want to thank the officials for working tirelessly. I know that you had very or none the parents, the children were ready for children, were ready for the new academic year. So I want to thank them for the hard work that they've been doing, and also to our schools' leadership management. Some schools are starting off an advantage, some are starting from a disadvantage. So that let's continue to working together to ensure that we provide the best for our children. And to the media again, thank you for coming. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much. We will be taking questions. HOD, please join the MEC. Director MM, please. Mala, yes. I'll just identify you. You must just remember your number of the phone. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay, that is it.
Thank you so much, Steve. Let me see, speak up on IFM. I read the county there, let me see, with regard to the total number of kids in the grade 1 to the grade 8. How many are you think about the grade 8? How many are there? And then also, let me see, please let me explain as to 4,801 appeals. What are the parents complaining about? What are they saying? Just to unpair those appeals. What are these appeals about? Thank you.
Let me see. I think one can make acknowledgement of perhaps the purpose made thus far in terms of this process. But I think the question, because we say that parents should not worry their children will be in class, the question is when. Because I was starting with the curriculum, you also spoke about some of those catch-up programs. How effective and efficient do you believe those will be? Number 2, you spoke about distractions as well. Could you just also elaborate further on some of these? Because one would argue, some parents would say that they're just trying to voice their grievances. So just alleging some reasons as to why their children have not been placed. There's a parent, in fact, in Soweto, with Mulezani, who says her child was turned around because of her sexual orientation. The principal had said to her that if she refuses to wear a skirt, then she certainly does not have a place at that particular school. Could you just comment?
Thank you very much. My name is Panelo Danile. I'm from the Voice of Tembisa. I think my first question would be placement versus the feeder zone. Some of the parents have been complaining being placed at a place where they are far from their feeder zone. I just wanted to know if you are aware of that. Because now we are seeing parents flocking into the schools, seeing some chaotic scenes, and I just ask myself, is there